I'm going to go ahead and get to work. I want to welcome everybody who is on the call, and I want to welcome everybody who couldn't make it to the call as well. Specifically, happy to have both Heather and Dana here from WRJ. We have kind of an informal group here where we have a group of all of the moderators of sites in the tent. We're all kind of going through the same things, trying to learn this new technology while we're trying to engage people in our organizations and really trying to embrace this new technology as well. So it's a place to share expertise. It's a way to share, if you'll excuse the term, war stories as well, and a chance where we as a group can learn how to do this job, to fulfill this role that we all have as community moderators. So there's a couple of big developments here that I wanted to share with you. There's actually two, and I want to go through them. And please, of course, stop me as we go along if you need more explanation and or more clarification. Number one is the issue of email alerts. and as I think I've explained to all of you, and if not, let this serve as the explanation. We currently have 3 open sites in the tent. One of the main reasons we have 3 open sites is due to the limitations of the email alert technology in SharePoint. The fact that you can create an email alert for a whole site, but not for a discussion category within that site. Our wonderful IT department thinks they found a way through that, which will enable us to set email alerts on discussion categories in a way that will allow us to reduce our 3 open sites in the tent to 1 open site. And you can, in effect, subscribe to the discussion categories that are of most interest to you. So we hope that once we're able to reduce our 3 sites to 1, that we're going to have more engagement in that 1 site, and that we're going to have more engagement in the tent overall. So I'm hearing a echo. I think Mary, who just joined us, it's wonderful that you're here. Can you please mute yourself?
Fine. I haven't even said anything yet.
Not
You're
yet,
already
kiddo.
shutting me up.
Not, but let's just see if that does the trick. Thank you. Also, and as we all know, email alerts are not easy to set up in the tent. They take 6 clicks of your mouse, but again, our wonderful IT department has found a way around that. I'm going to share my screen with you right now because I want to show you kind of what they've come up with. And Michael, please do feel free to chime in here if I explain this the wrong way. But okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what you have here is basically, you've seen this at the top of our discussion lists in the tent. This is not rolled out yet. I wanted to get some input from this team, and anybody who's listening to this on the recording, we'd love to hear feedback from you as well, of course. So you see all of these things that we see in the tent now, and the new discussion button here as well. This is new. So this is the button that Sarah Autry and Michael Belkin have created. If you hit this now with the envelope icon with the green plus sign, it will set an alert for the site that you're in, and then that green plus sign is going to turn into a red subtraction sign. For you to click to take away that email alert should you want to. I think they did a great job with this. I want to make whatever icon, whatever symbol is going to be the most effective and clear symbol that we can create. Michael and Sarah have made it very clear to me that's their goal as well. This is what they've come up with. interested to know, do you think that's clear enough? Is that going to do the trick? Michael, is there going to be some hover language as well?
Yeah, absolutely. That's very simple to do.
Okay, so when you hover over the envelope, it may say, click here to create a new email alert. And once that email alert has been created and that red sign is there, when you hover your mouse over it, it will say, click here to remove the email alert. So
Mhm.
Ken, please feel free to chime in. What do you think of this? Is this going to work for your populations on your sites?
Larry,
Adam, please go right ahead.
I'm not looking at the screen, so help me. If the alert is for a discussion, or is it for a site, or is it
It's
for
for the
a group?
It's for the individual site. So if you click this plus icon on the
Okay.
NADA site, you will get
Yeah.
email alerts for everything talked about on the NADA site.
Okay. So sometimes people want alerts just for a particular discussion, right?
Yes, now they can do that still. Michael, I'm not sure if this iconography is going to carry over to the specific discussions, but what we're talking about is for the whole site. Michael, do you think that we can bring this into the specific discussions as well?
Well, it kind of depends on the specifics of how we're able to implement discussion level alerts. So it is really I couldn't give you a precise
That's fine.
answer as to whether it was going to be possible. Um, but if we are indeed able to create the discussion level alerts, we will probably have something like a subscription center
Yeah.
where you would be able to subscribe to either an entire site or discussions within the sites. It
So
really remains to be seen how we're able to do this.
right. So what Michael is saying is that they've been doing this great work and that they have a whole page that shows you all of your sites and then you can just go down and click the ones that you want to subscribe to email alerts for. Setting an email alert for a specific discussion that's happening on your SharePoint site is a relatively easy thing to do,
Right.
especially compared to trying to set an email alert for the whole site. So this is for the whole site. Setting an email alert for a specific discussion, as I said, is a relatively easier thing to do, at least, and they're working on creating alerts for discussion categories. So Adam, if you don't get back to your desk soon, you'll just look at the YouTube link for this and you'll get a sense of how this looks. Anybody else have any thoughts on this?
What about the fact, Larry,
I'm sorry. Was it wait? Adam, before you talk, I think there was somebody else who wanted to chime in.
I was just saying it's fine. It's very easy to understand.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Carol. Uh, you were gonna say, Adam?
I know some of our members have felt overwhelmed by the alerts from the website, so I think we need to be aware of that. But I think if you can click it on and off,
Yeah.
that'll make it easier.
Okay. Yeah, and that's really more of an IT issue. So I'm glad we have our IT friends on the phone now. In that, and these are things that we can eventually build in here as well. And I think, Michael, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you click that, it's going to bring up the email alert window where you can say, I want to receive my email alerts all the time or once each day or once each week. And you can adjust it as need be. So
So we have the flexibility of either um, accepting all defaults on behalf of the user. So indeed, it's a one-click yes or no
yeah.
Selection for the users, or we can offer them the option of going to the details screen to select what options
Okay.
for alerts they want to.
Okay. And it sounds like, Adam, you're saying that users do want the flexibility to set up an email alert just the way that they want to, and might not prefer us setting up defaults for them. Are there any thoughts to share on that?
I think the fact that they can turn it on and off easily will be well received.
Okay, so maybe then to in fact set the default for them, and they can just flick that switch on and off as need be. And then look, we can launch this, see how it goes, and if need be, change things along the way, I'm sure, as well, depending on how it goes. So, okay, so I want to move on from there, and I think you can all still see my screen with the tent homepage on here. So you may have seen a new link appear on the tent. Up here is a new link called Yammer. Has anybody noticed that yet?
Yes.
Have you played around with it at all?
A little teeny tiny,
Okay.
teeny tiny bit.
Okay. So what was there before was newsfeed, and what that link would do is to take you to a page where you don't see your about me information, but rather you see a running account of your activity on all of your sites in the tent. So while that news feed is still there, it's there in a little bit of a truncated form on your about me page. If you were to click on Yammer, you can see it's going to open up a new browser tab for me here. And this is what Yammer is here. And what this is kind of a business focused social networking tool that was acquired by Microsoft 1 or 2 years ago. The ultimate goal here from Microsoft is that the Yammer functionality is going to replace discussions in the tent. Okay, so discussions as we know them are going to be gone, and it's going to look more like this, which is more Facebook-like. It's got a look and functionality, I think, that is more in line with the social networking that we all do, be it on Facebook or Twitter or even just email. It looks and it works a little more with a little more familiarity, I think, than what we've seen in SharePoint. That being said, we don't know when this integration of Yammer and SharePoint is going to be complete. If you want to participate in Yammer now, you can. You need to set up a new user profile in Yammer, which is one disconnect, one issue that we have now, because soon those two user profiles are going to be one, and it's all going to be in the tent. And in time, we hope within a year, all of your discussions on your SharePoint site are going to look like this. So, but the fact is that while that integration isn't fully complete yet, we do have Yammer here to start to play around with and talk and use and talk with. So we've set up a few networks here, and don't be overly concerned if this doesn't all make complete sense quite yet, but it will in time. And just to go through this real quick, this is our urj.org network here where all URJ staff can get online and just talk back and forth, kind of like we can on an intranet. But we've set up what we call an external network as well, called the tent. And within each network you can set up groups. So one of the first groups that I made is a tent community moderators group here. And you all should have received an email today, because I just put you all in as users today of this site. So you should all receive an email inviting you to this group. So please come on to this group. Let's start to play around with this and learn this as we're learning SharePoint along the way. It's not it's not ideal, to be sure, but I think down the road, the more comfortable we all as leaders feel with this new technology here, the more effectively we're going to be able to bring everybody along once Yammer and SharePoint are fully integrated. So, did anybody receive an email today?
I didn't get it today, but I got one before, and I've already started. That's the same thing, right?
Okay, so I would go back. So when you log on, Carol, I think you're going to find yourself on the URJ network here. Just click on the networks pull down here and go to the tent.
The 10th?
And then
Okay.
you should see the tent community moderators group here.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Did anybody else receive an email? I'm going to take that as a no. So I'm going to look into that and see what we can do to get you all into the site. It's not as complicated of a process to get into a SharePoint site, to be sure. There's Dan. He's on the list. That's great. It's not as complicated of a procedure to get somebody into this site. I myself just need to get an appreciation of how this all works. So I wanted you all to know what that Yammer link means, and if there are groups on your sites, we're still going to launch our SharePoint sites. But what I think that Yammer will be really good for, Adam, are you still there?
Yes.
So say the NADA board comes to you and says, we want our own site in the tent. This is what that site might be. If there is a team in your group, an executive committee on your site, or some smaller team that wants to talk amongst themselves, let's set up a group for them in the tent external network now, and just see how that works for them, because it's going to be a much easier thing for us to set up for them. It's going to take a lot less time, and I think that they're going to get a lot from it as well.
Larry,
Yes,
am I echoing?
you are not.
Okay. So some of my small congregations had Shamash accounts. They had discussion groups. Is this what you're saying they will now, and they've asked, is there a way that they can have their own place for a discussion group? Is this what you're saying?
Now, is this for all of your small congregations?
No. Just the ones who have, I mean, there's some congregations that have asked because they had them in the past.
Yeah, this is where that would go. I'm not sure if I want to go en masse here yet and start to set up a whole bunch of groups yet, because this is all brand new. We don't know ultimately what this integration is going to look like, how it's going to behave, all of that stuff, but it's here. And I think at least, and what I would love to do, if it's okay with all of you, is if you think you have a group that might be a good match for this, let's talk and let's see how we can best take care of them. But this certainly does offer some very interesting possibilities. I know that's not much of an answer to your question yet, but I would say ultimately this is the type of group that they will have. Anybody else? Okay, those are the two things that I wanted to share with you. So I'm going to load this little meeting up to YouTube so you can all see it, or I just may put it on the tent Yammer group. That might be good too. But in the meantime, please do set up your Yammer account. I'll get these invitations to you, and we'll see where this all goes. And Michael, the IT department, and I will work to start to implement these email alert, easy to use buttons as well.
Just
Okay,
one quick thing to add, Larry,
please.
if I may. We did notice that often emails coming from Yammer, and that's who the invitations are going to come from, do go into spam folders.
Okay,
So
so
for everybody on the call who we are pretty sure Larry invited to join the group, but you did not receive an email, please check your spam folders. There's a good chance the
good.
email has been.
So what Michael was saying, it's a little hard for me to hear you. So just in case it's a little hard for anyone else, that your Yammer notification may have been initially blocked by your spam your spam filter. So we'll give it a day, and please check there and see if it arrived there. And please let me know if by like tomorrow noon you haven't received this, and then we'll know to look into this more. Okay? Okay. Well, thank you all very much for your time, for all of your good work in the tent. Please don't forget, check your tent sites every day and make sure that folks stay engaged and involved. Post good things for them to talk about, encourage them to share resources in your resource libraries as well. We really want to see those grow. And activity in the tent has been strong, and we look forward to it becoming stronger and stronger all the time. And thank you all for your hard work, and we will be in touch. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.